This one is the 5th time that I've ever been to, and it's the 3rd one that we've ever played.
So were your first 2 ones that you were just here for?
Yeah, the first one, me and Garrett, the drummer, flew here on our own. We didn't know anybody. We were sleeping in hedges.
Really?
And yeah, at the Spanish Gamble's house.
Nice.
We just kind of put our sleeping bags in the dirt and passed out there, and then didn't really know all that many people. Second year we came, my whole band came, and just to hang out, and then we wound up playing a house show.
Oh, nice.
And then yeah, the last 3 years just been playing.
Nice. Is it radically different going from just being an attendee to playing in a band, or is it still like?
I don't know. It's almost like when you play in a band and you go to Fest, you have less time to go around and see all the bands that you can and enjoy it and just be completely carefree, because you have to, make sure that someone's watching your merch, or that you have all of your stuff in the van. And still a lot of drinking. So I mean, there isn't really all that much of a difference between the two, other than that one day out of the 3 you have to be vigilant.
One day, if you're anybody but Mike Eard, who plays in all of the bands.
You're Mike Eard.
You play everywhere.
Fest is just a gigantic panic attack.
It's just work all the time.
Yeah.
But he loves it. I'm sure he thrives on that. He's a machine. So is it more stressful then, being in a band here, because you have like specific times and places to be places?
I wouldn't say I ever let myself get too terribly stressed. I mean, it's kind of hard to get stressed when you're around all of your friends from all over the world.
Right.
And you're just drinking.
Right.
So, but I mean, no, not stressed. You just have a little bit of business to take care of, and then back to hanging out and seeing friends.
Yeah. So what is your most memorable Fest moment thus far?
This year? Or ever?
Ever. Or this year, both?
Well, last night Captain We're Singing played over at Lucy's, and it was far and away the best set I've seen at all 5 festivals.
Oh, don't say that! I missed it.
It was incredible. It was so outrageous. At the last song, everybody was on stage, and it was just so much fun. We've just been on tour with them in the Holy Mess, and it was awesome to see them play. And they're great. So this year that was the best moment. Best Fest moment ever, though? I mean, I guess it'd have to be at Fest 9 when the Menzingers were playing at the venue, or the Florida Theater.
Yeah.
And they were playing Lesson in Abuse of Information Technology, and Steve-O from the Holy Mess is up on top of the speaker tower.
Oh, and he jumped down.
And he jumped down.
I remember that.
Absolutely nobody caught him at all.
Yeah.
And he still walks with a cane because it messed his knee up so bad.
I didn't know him back then either. I was like, that dude's crazy. And then I was like, oh, wait, that dude's crazy.
we were partying pretty hard.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was some high caliber fun.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that for every good moment that there is, you've had 2 drinks.
Right.
And so you tend to forget about lots of the cool stuff that's going on.
Right. So, is there a particular venue that you like the best?
I like 1982. It's small and intimate, and there are video games behind the bar.
Yeah.
And yeah, we played there the last 2 years. Not this year, but the last 2. And it's always super fun. The staff is awesome, and they're all really cool people.
Right.
And yeah, it's a good place to see a band, and the sound's really good for how small the venue is.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna go with 1982.
Good choice. I agree. So as you know, Punktastic is primarily based towards an audience in the UK and in Europe, and we're trying to give people an idea of what the Fest experience is about. If there's people on the fence about traveling over here for it, we want to show them why they should be here. So why do you think people should travel from far, far away in other countries to come to Fest?
Well, I mean, there's no simple way to answer that other than that punk rock music isn't the kind of punk music that the bands play at Fest isn't real popular all over the world.
Right.
I mean, there are places where it's more popular than others, and there are bigger bands and smaller bands. But the cool thing about Fest is that everyone who plays in a band in this genre of music and tours around can come here and for one small moment, you feel like this music that means so much to everybody could be something that's huge, like a force for good, if you will.
Right.
And so the feeling is that you come all the way across the world or across the country, and you come here, and automatically everybody who is here is already going to be your friend.
Yeah.
Because they're, you know, think of it as there's probably like 1 million people in the world that like this music, and then a lot of them conglomerate here in Gainesville one time a year, and it's just everybody's hanging out. And more than seeing like good bands and getting to see a bunch of other awesome bands in small venues, it's about kind of having a sense of like involvement and
community.
And so that's my favorite thing about Fest. And that's why I would risk life and limb and debt to come here every year until they're just done doing it. Yeah. Because every year you make new friends, and you make new connections for touring and stuff. And you make friends with other bands, and you get to see bands that you never heard
of. That don't tour all the time.
Yeah, like last year I stumbled into 1982 and I saw a band from the UK called Leagues Apart. Yeah. And it was the first time I'd ever seen them, and I was totally blown away with them. And now we just toured with them in the UK, and now they're just super great close friends. Right. And it's all because I randomly stumbled into 1982 at Fest last year. So more than it is just a way to go see music and stuff, it's not like Gross Rock, you know. There aren't big stages where everyone like stands in front of the stage and migrates to another huge stage. It's smaller, intimate venues, and then people hanging out and taking over an entire city. Yeah. So it makes it easier to sit around and converse with people, or just drink in an alleyway, and like make friends.
Hang out with all your favorite rock stars.
I guess, yeah. But that's more important to me than seeing great music. Just to be able to hang out with great people. Yeah, so definitely. That's why it's totally worth it. Totally worth it to save up your money and come to this.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for talking to me.
Of course.
And I appreciate it a lot. And hopefully our audience does too. Great, cool.